everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a quick Wednesday episode of Kever on Cardano. Just dropping a quick stream to check in, answer any questions that may come in, give out some Kever Coin to anyone that asks it. Oh yeah, and we're going to be trying something new today. I want to play a game. You want to play a game? Let's play a game. Let's try it. Let's see if it works. But we are going to need some audience participation. So if you would, say hello in the chat. Yay! Garry Golden wants some Kever Coin. Garry Golden will get some Kever Coin. Garry, thank you so much for tuning into the show. We are looking for someone, though, who might be interested in calling in and telling us their Kever story. Yes, only rare ones. There only are rare Kever Coins. I mean, they actually are pretty rare. I have to count, but I think there's only less than 30 that I've sent out. I know because I can track those transaction charges. So anyways, yeah, we are looking for anyone who might want to call in. Gonna have to use Skype and do it through my account, but we will plug you in to live, answer some questions on the show. Just talk to us about your Cardano story. And you can even ask me a question or two. I can't promise I'll answer. I don't know what might come of this. But I want to open the floor up to anyone out there that might be want to come on the show and ask questions. And I don't care what level of Cardano ninja you are. Whether you are a total noob or whether you are a seasoned expert, if you are just dropping by the stream and you've never seen or heard of Cardano before, that's the kind of person I would love to talk to. And that's actually who I'm spending a lot of time talking to these days. So if you're interested in calling into the show, all you got to do is drop a comment in the live stream, live chat, and say, hey, I want to call in. But if you don't want to call in, that's cool. I will just play my Garry Golden card and see if I can get him to call in. So I didn't really, are you ready for the, okay, yes, I've read that part. Sorry everyone, I'm still kind of learning how to do this show, but I have some really, really cool technical stuff to show you guys. Let's take a look at some Kever Coin. Ooh, that was fancy. That's right, I can go from here with the chat and the action box to the website. And anyways, that is what the Kever Coin looks like, the very rare one Garry was just talking about there. And I'm working on a 5 Kever Coin denomination, and I'll be minting a few of those before too long. And just a quick little shout out to my very good friends over at Mermaid Metro Stake Pool. They were instrumental in minting the first batch of Kever Coin. And as busy as they were to just stop everything and answer a bunch of questions and do a bunch of emails and go back and forth, I am just forever indebted to them. And they're like my own personal Fed, right? Because all I got to do is pick up the phone and be like, hey, we need some more Kever Coin. And printer goes brr. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. No one else in the chat looking for some Kever Coin other than Garry. Garry, if you want to drop your address in the live chat, we can send you some Kever Coin right now live on the show. In fact, just because you are who you are and you are the first person to call in on our live call-in show attempt, I'm going to send you 2 Kever Coin. That is twice as much as 1 Kever Coin, and much closer to a 5 Kever Coin. So yeah, that's how good I am at the maths. So should I be concerned about Kever Coin inflation? It is a topic on the board that we discuss regularly. But we think we have measures in place to control that kind of thing. And just trust that we know what we're doing, because we are the ones who minted Kever Coin. Yeah. I'm taking leads from the actual Fed, in case you were wondering. All right, there it is. So we've got an address here. I'm going to work on that. Garry is getting the first Kever Coin of the show. So get my mouse over here, over to Yoroi. We are going to Create a transaction. Nope, sorry. I'm going to send Kever Coin to this address. We're going to send him 2 Kever Coin. Gary, you're the first person I've sent 2 Kever Coin to, so maybe this inflation thing is something I ought to worry about. Let me just add a little memo. Here we go. Send using my trusty Trezor. Does Kever Coin use metadata? What a good question, Gary. Actually, it does. And that, my friend, is one of the coolest parts about these non-fungible tokens and native assets is that the information lives in the metadata. And if you look at the metadata in the Kever Coin that I send you, not only will you see show times for Your Cardano Update, which is on youtube.com/YourCardanoUpdate, but also this show, Kever on Cardano. You'll also find a link to the graphic for the Kever Coin. So metadata is this really magical thing that kind of opens up this world to us that really wasn't available before. Now, you know, Jeremy Furster will tell you that most coins out there has some form of metadata. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but based on conversations I've had with him, but no one does it quite like Cardano, and he was a real advocate for pushing metadata, the implementation of metadata that we see on Cardano now. So very, very good question, Gary. Thank you very much. And you should have, let's make sure I see that, you should have that Kever Coin. So we want to thank you very much for that. Let's go back to the screen so we can see our chat. Yeah, isn't that just so fancy? I found a really cool YouTube channel from a video production house, a guy named Doug, and he wrote a set of macros that work with the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, which is what I have. And Gary is saying that it has arrived. Well, congratulations. You are the latest winner of some Kever Coin. I think the only person who may have 2 Kever Coin on Earth. Yes, inflation's going to be out of control, Gary. Don't spend it all in one place, if you would. So yeah, trying to open the floor up to anyone that might want to call and tell us their Cardano story. Gary, I don't know if anyone else is going to show up. I see that there are 2 people now, but that other person is, as of right now, just lurking. Would love to take your Cardano questions, would even love to bring someone in on the show to ask them their Cardano story. And quite honestly, your opportunity to ask me my Cardano story and any questions you might have. So I'm just gonna do what we call in the TV business tap dance, and that's try and keep your attention while we wait for that golden comment to arrive. Gary, you interested in calling in? It's a Skype call. Take 2 minutes. Don't want to put you on the spot or anything. There's all but 3 people watching. Oh, there's a 3rd person. Say hello, would you please? Ask a question. Let's get some conversation going. Or would you like to call in? There we go. So the 1 second. Oh, Gary might call in after all. Awesome. So I've got this nice little fancy system that will take up to 4 Skype calls. I can only mix 3 at the moment. He says, I can try Skype. All right, so all you got to do is you can go to web.skype.com, and you'll either need a Skype account or a Microsoft account, and I sincerely apologize about that. I did not know that when I bought this hardware that you have to have one of these accounts, but yeah, you do have to have a Skype account. I can send you a link if you have a Microsoft account, but to me, if you got to have a Microsoft account, you might as well have a Skype account. They're both Pretty much the same. Okay, I have open Skype. So search for me. James.Kever is my screen name. You can also look under my email address, james.kever@gmail.com. And I am going to get you ready for that. So, there I see you calling. Channel 1. All right, Gary, so just hold on just a moment and let me get you plugged in. Show me full screen to here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will just bear with me while I change the settings. So camera 3 in Super Source. Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of an issue here, so let me just, if you guys will hold on for just a second. Taking you off fade to black, and there he is. Hold on a moment, Gary, I got a screen just for you. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, Garry Golden, make sure your sound is on. Excellent, all right. How you doing?
Doing well.
There you go. Now you should be heard. Tell me again how you're doing.
So now I should mute the actual Twitch stream.
Yes. Oh wow, I learned that lesson the hard way.
Man. I've got you in a small box and then the delay slightly in a bigger box.
Yeah, I can't even play my speaker, my mic in my ear because there's a delay and it just makes it everything insane. So welcome, you are the first caller on Kever on Cardano's call-in show. Thank you so much. I didn't have to twist your arm or anything.
Good to be here.
Good. Maybe you could just start by telling the audience who maybe is not familiar with who you are and what you do, just a little bit about yourself, because it is a pretty interesting story.
Yeah, so I am, hold on one second here.
Sure. Totally know all about tap dancing and taking calls and people knocking on the door when you're in the middle of, talking to the CEO of the Cardano Foundation. No big deal.
So I am a professional futurist by trade. So I work with companies and help them think about market transitions and longer term futures, and work across a range of industries from healthcare, energy, transportation, and got pulled into the crypto world in 2014, and then pulled further in 2017 around Cardano, and that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like quite a condensed story. You run the meetups there in the Bronx, right?
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-founders of the New York City Cardano meetup group, and home is in Brooklyn. So that's where I'm called.
Really good friend that was from Brooklyn and brought me to Brooklyn. Nice. And man, best bagels. Oh my gosh, best pizza.
We live a block away from one of the perennial top bagel stores.
Oh man, that would be the death of me.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, it was so stereotypical. It's like the best pizza, the best bagels. I was actually expecting people to be a lot more rude to me because, having never been to New York, and then I started going like all the time for work. But I was really surprised. By and large, most people were very polite, of all walks of life.
Absolutely. It's a directness, but New Yorkers are a friendly bunch.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you kind of right before the pandemic, you opened up a shop, and I remember that when you and I first started talking. Because that was kind of going to be your headquarters where you would hold these classes and you would kind of conduct your business. How's that all working out?
So the space is called Into the Future, and it's the simplest way to think about it is that it's an after school learning space that will have programs for kids and adults. And we just kind of put it on pause during COVID because people aren't coming into after school classes, but now we have a summer program called Time Travel Week, that's going to be designed for ages 7 to 11, and I've got two young kids myself, so it kind of fits the lifestyle. But that's going to be for kids. So we're just going to kind of kick things off, and then the hope is that by September we'll be able to welcome people into the space, and
Yeah.
masks will be off, and why won't we be back to normal by September?
Well, I mean, I think the misinformation probably. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
are we on lockdown to flatten the curve or to completely prevent any kind of infection? I can't answer that
yeah.
question honestly. So I don't know. I think we need to. Yeah, that's a topic for a whole nother show. One thing I do want to ask you about, though, I'm kind of thinking about buying an electric car. Not right this minute. The car I have now is paid off, and it
Yeah.
runs really well. But it's a Kia. It was my first car. I've had it for over 10 years. I've taken really good care of it. But I'm eyeballing the Teslas, and I know there's a host of other electric cars coming out too. But you have some strong feelings when it comes to, and I should be very careful how I word this, electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you can
I
talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to dissuade anyone from buying an electric car, because overall it's a good thing, and
Well,
uh
all right.
but there is this kind of, I'm a futurist, and I understand the automotive sector, I understand transportation, I understand energy, and I really just despise Elon Musk. I struggle.
Really? Well,
I
what's
think
behind
he falls
that?
short in too many categories. Am
Interesting.
I still coming through here?
Yeah, yeah. No, you are. I mean, I see. Yeah,
Oh,
you're coming through loud and clear to me.
okay. Sorry about that. Everything froze up. But anyway, so let me just dispel the myth here. When you say electric car, you're talking about the motor, not the battery. And for the majority of people that are buying an electric car today, it's a plug-in electric car, which is great if you live in a house that has a garage and you can recharge, and you don't tend to take the car out on the weekends to, Mountain Town or Ocean City or something. But when we're trying to scale electric vehicles, it's likely to be hydrogen fuel cells, right? So there's nothing that we can gain in the United States or in the world in terms of trading a dependency for oil for a dependency on lithium, right?
Well, the more important
Yeah,
question to me, I don't care about any of that. I mean, I should. I really should. But like,
yeah,
we've been addicted to oil just well before I was born, before my parents were born. Are electric vehicles, excuse me, lithium ion vehicles, are they really environmentally, are they really good for the environment? Because I'd
it's
argue
not.
that they're not at all.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
we
it's
have a
not going to.
program to deal with these aging batteries, as far, and
Yeah,
I think you put this on my radar in an article that I read from your Twitter, that these countries that are corrupt and looking for money are going to start taking in these used batteries for money, and they're going to end up in our environment anyways. I mean, do you know of a plan, of a program where people who've bought a Tesla 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago and the battery's starting to wear out, where are they supposed to recycle the battery? Who pays for that? Is it
yeah,
because if it's the owner of the car, it's not going to get taken care of. It's just not. I mean,
yeah. No. So we're just in a gray zone right now. So the rules, regulations behind it haven't really been codified. Um, we will figure out a lithium recycling, or I take a battery from a electric car, and it's not great for an electric car, but it's good for my basement energy storage.
hmm.
So there will be a market for repurposing. It's like solar cells. Like, we have solar cells on our roof. At some point, they'll decline to a point where they're not really producing a lot of energy, but some farmer might take it because it'll just sit on the land and they can squeeze out the last little bit of energy in the box. The bigger question on lithium is how much energy it takes to produce the lithium, how much energy it takes to ship it. And it's really hard to imagine scaling a billion or two vehicles around batteries and being connected to a grid. Like, think about your phone and your laptop and how many times you in a week are like, oh my gosh, I'm running out of battery. Where's the wall socket?
Mhm.
Right? And that's for a little tiny ass battery on your phone.
Mhm.
What happens on a Saturday when 50,000 people leave Washington D.C. or New York or Dallas, and they go somewhere and they go to a small little tourist town? Now that tourist town has to have
Mhm.
thousands of recharging stations, and then they're going to come there and they're going to use the recharging stations for 2 days, and then the rest of the time the recharging station sits there empty. So it's fueling stations work, and I love electric cars, but electric's the motor, it's not the
Mhm.
battery.
So school me a
So
little bit on how hydrogen works. You would go to a hydrogen refueling station. I would
just like,
imagine it works just like
yep. Yep,
gasoline.
and there's a pipeline, so the hydrogen's produced, like, let's say you just take Washington, D.C. or something, right? At the edge of Washington, D.C., and the perimeter, there'll be, 3 or 4 hydrogen electrolyzer hubs, and they're producing electricity, or excuse me, hydrogen by splitting water, right? And then they're going to have pipelines that will go out to, in a city of DC size, maybe 15 hydrogen stations,
Mhm.
just strategically located. And you'll go in and you'll fill it up in 3 minutes, and you'll get another 400 to 600 miles.
600 miles.
Yeah. So
Wow.
fuel cell, so the hydrogen is converted in a fuel cell,
Mhm.
and it produces electricity. And then that electricity goes to the motor. Fuel cells are very efficient when it comes to converting that hydrogen energy. So the amount of range we can get will be better
Mhm.
than a combustion engine.
Interesting, interesting, interesting.
Yeah, but it
So,
but it goes against your logic, right? When someone's like, an electric car, you think I'm recharging it, but you're refueling it, and that's just like 2 steps away from logic.
sure. Yeah, wow, that's really something to think about. So, what would you tell, your son if he were old enough to get a car? Would you tell him to like stay in the Kia for another 5 years, or pull the trigger on an electric vehicle, or what? What should I do?
I look, if you've got a lifestyle where you're going to basically be just driving this car a few miles each day, and you come home and plug it in, and you maybe have another car that you use for the long trips, buying a battery electric vehicle is great. But at the end of the day, the United States and the world won't start buying electric motor vehicles until the 2030s, right?
Mm,
Like, the mass volume adoption stage is still another 10 years away.
mm.
There will be lots of people buying it, but the real volumes are still some time away. And fuel cells will be readily available by that point. And they'll be cheaper than batteries, and infinitely more convenient.
Awesome. Cannot wait.
So,
All
but
right.
anyway, don't let me stop you. If you want to drop some dimes on a Tesla,
Actually, you know what's stopping me is taxes. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of taxes, and I don't want to. I want to like start this, baby steps. I did tap in a little bit to some profits to buy a bunch of video gear, and
yeah,
I kind of did that as a walkthrough to see like what I'm going to have to pay for and how it's going to affect my state taxes and just all of this. So
yeah,
I'm still not ready
it's
to
so
kind of pull the
confusing.
trigger. Oh, I know it is, but you know
How
what?
do you know when you sell your ADA? Let's say you bought 1,000 ADA in 2018, 10 cents, whatever it was, and you sell 500. The address will have the rate that you pay. Like, how does that work?
So yeah, I think the data is there. It's all about aggregating it. Now I can tell you, for those of you who are watching, you're getting a sneak peek. Uh, I have an interview coming on Friday's show with a guy who has created a tool, a tax tool that figures everything out from the staking address. He's submitted it to
Nice.
Catalyst. He built this tool already for Tezos. This is a tax attorney. He is a licensed attorney who specializes in taxes. And Friday's show, we've got an interview with him where I'm going to introduce you to his Catalyst proposal. And man, I hope IOHK can, or IOG rather, can iron out the wrinkles with the pledge, because I've got a substantial amount of ADA in my pledge that I would really like to be voting in Catalyst with, and I just can't do it right now. But anyway, so tune in Friday for that. Gary, I don't want to take away your whole night. I know you have a wife and kids, and this was a completely unexpected thing, but I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. You are such a friend to the show, and just very grateful.
Good luck.
That you called.
And now you know how to do Skype.
Yes, exactly. And for the time being, until I can upgrade my system again, everything's going to be through Skype, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. All right, Garry Golden.
Test anything out? Do you want me to share a screen or something to test anything out? Or are you good?
I'm actually good. I think I'm gonna actually wrap it up. I have been recording on all of these channels, so what I'll do when I have some time is edit it into a little bit more of a polished product, and then post it on youtube.com/James Kever. So repurposing, going to YouTube, and trying to figure out the most efficient workflow. It's funny because I'm putting out all of this product, and if you look at all of this product, you would think, wow, he's like spending so much time on it. I'm really not. I have like pre-built everything. I'm working out of templates. And a lot of it is mostly live to tape. So now what I'm doing, and it's all a result of the pandemic. I didn't, get this stuff and learn how to do it until I really had to. And but now, as we're talking about going back to work, I'm trying to share some of these lessons that I've learned with my office.
You should do a video on it. You should do a video on it.
Not a bad idea. It's a format that would work for anything. Gardening.
And I know like Sean is Sean's one of the Meetup guys. He's setting up his channel. I mean, there's still more channels to come. So there's Charles got that Roadster, or what is that? What's that pad device thing that everyone uses?
Oh, where they draw on it?
No, it's like a button, you got like a laugh track and anyway, it's but I'm always curious about that stuff.
Yeah, I had an audio mixer before I got the one that does mix minus that was supposed to, you could store sound laugh tracks and all that stuff. It's funny, most of the comedies that you watch these days where you hear that laugh track, those are over 100 years old, and so you're listening to dead people laugh. Nobody realizes that. But fun little fact there. Anyways, Garry, thank you so much for calling in, man. I'm so grateful. I owe you. Don't spend all that Kever Coin in one place.
I'm gonna keep it till I vanish from the earth.
To the moon.
Hodl.
To the moon. All right, Garry, take care. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our episode of Kever on Cardano. Just a quick look over at the live text, and there is nothing there. So just a reminder that we have a stake pool, United Stakes of Cardano. Its ticker is USA01. And you can download Daedalus or Yoroi, and in the delegation tab, just search for USA01, and our stake pool will come up. And you delegate to our stake pool, meaning you take the ADA, your ADA bag, and you designate it to our stake pool. It doesn't leave your wallet. You have no risk of losing it, but you delegate it. And when our pool is chosen as the slot leader to create the next block, we will get rewarded when we show up and do that. And you will get a cut of that every 5 days. And so that's how staking works. It's anywhere between a 5 and 7% annual return, and it's compounding interest. So the rewards are put into your wallet, and then the next batch of rewards is based on what the balance plus the previous rewards were. It's compounding. It's really, really cool. Anyways, United Stakes of Cardano is a stake pool. We're based out of Washington, D.C. They pay the bills for this live stream, all of the equipment that we're using, and the resources that we're using. We also have a newscast on YouTube. It's called Your Cardano Update. That's youtube.com/YourCardanoUpdate. And we have a newscast that comes out every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. So please tune in to that. Yeah, if you're looking for a stake pool to delegate to, United Stakes of Cardano. If you're having any trouble delegating, or if you need some advice about a hardware wallet, or you just got a question in general and you don't want to ask it live on the show in the chat, that's cool. You can reach out to me on Twitter. My DMs are open, so I don't have to be following you or you following me to send me a private message. Just ask a question there. I'd be happy to answer and help any way I can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, really appreciate everyone watching the show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again Saturday.